Good Friday morning. Hello, it is me, Dan Schiffman, again on the coding train. This train has been very busy this week. This is actually my third live stream, if you can believe that. I have my water here ready with me. That will help. I'm going to move it over here, though, just to get it out of the way. So I've been kind of live streaming quite a bit extra this week simply because I missed a few weeks in the last couple months. This will not be a regular occurrence. I feel so sleepy. Can I start over? Let me start over. Hello! It's Friday morning. Here I am in New York City, live on the coding train, the third live stream of this week. I will be back hopefully twice next week as well. Once on Monday. Let me just quickly mention, because if you happen to be in the New York City area, you could come to this in person. If I go to itp.nyu.edu/show, this is the information about the ITP Winter Show, which is a 2-day exhibition of recent creative interactive projects by the students at ITP. It's happening Sunday and Monday. On Monday, hopefully around 3 p.m., hopefully. Loud noises coming from the hallway. Around 3 p.m., I'm hoping to do a live stream from my mobile device and walk around and look at some projects. So stay tuned for that. Then I will be doing all this stuff is important for me to mention, but I'm going to close all these windows. All right, and then I will be back also on Thursday, December 21st. I expect this will start around 11 a.m., but I'm not sure about the time yet. I will post that soon for the end of year Coding Train Holiday Extravaganza. Fundraiser for the Processing Foundation. So if you haven't made your membership donation to the Processing Foundation, hold off, or you can make it now if you want, but wait, and you can do it live, and I don't know, maybe I'll read the people's names as they donate to Processing Foundation. Okay, if you are so able to. So this is a list of some stuff that I want to do today. I will be here till about 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. That's about 2 hours from now. Really what I'm attempting to do here as I approach the end of 2017 is two things. One is kind of catch up and wrap up a bunch of things that I wasn't able to get to. And I do have this list here. For example, where's this? This is some stuff from yesterday that I didn't get to that I want to talk about to see if we can do today in terms of WebGL. I've been kind of going through the Rainbow Topics GitHub repository and kind of looking at what things have a lot of thumbs up and see if I can get through, because what I would like to do next Thursday is just only coding challenges. So I'm hoping next Thursday will just be a series of coding challenges. Maybe I can get through 3 or 4, and in between I will plug the Processing Foundation. So let me think. So I have a couple things I want to go over, but while I'm waiting, what I would be curious for all of you, I'm going to go here and look at, so what I did this morning really quickly is I went through the list of challenges and I found some that I thought could be things that I would try to do, like image stippling. This knot challenge looks cool. ASCII art generator, Word to Vet, and some of these are also like topics, some more GitHub topics, working with Electron. So if any of you are, if you want, go log on to GitHub. You can go to any of the, let's say you really want me to try to do image stippling. If you click on this link, you could add a reaction here. So I'm going to add a reaction here. Oops, no wait, I took my reaction away. I'm going to add a reaction there, and I'm kind of looking at these numbers stuff. Romanimal1 asks, what do you think about that neural network stuff? So that is coming first thing in January 2018. That's as soon as I'm back in 2018, I don't know when the first live stream will be, sometime after January 1st, I am going to tackle more machine learning and neural network topics. That's what's coming. Oh my goodness. Mr. Dan in the chat, my name is also Mr. Dan, although I don't know that anyone's ever called me Mr. Dan, is sharing the live stream right now with a group of 7th graders. Hello, 7th graders somewhere at some school watching this. I have to make this educational now. I was going to do all my ridiculous wasting time stuff. Okay, so actually, while I am doing my ridiculous wasting, while I am waiting to get started, there's a couple things I wanted to mention. Number one is Project 4 Awesome. Let's take a look at this. This is something that's just started today. Today is December 15th. It is online creators decreasing world. Can I say suck on YouTube? I don't know. Bleep that out, somebody. I'm sure it's fine. And I believe this fundraiser is from what I understand, the fundraiser is, the donations now at the moment are going to Save the Children and Partners in Health, but a lot of other great charities. And I am going to right now. Well, the live stream is not going on, but I'm going to donate. So this is one thing that I wanted to do. I'm going to hit back it. Let's pick this $60 one. Why not? Wait, I need to log in. No, wait. Okay, hold on. I have an Indiegogo account, I'm sure. Hold on, everybody. Wait, hold on. There we go. You're gonna have to look at this while I enter in my my credit card details. Come on. Oh boy, this is really exciting, riveting live streaming. I swear, I forgot my password. I have an Indiegogo account. I should have looked at this in advance. What's the chance that's gonna work? Okay, hold on, give me one more chance. Let me do sign up. I will just sign up. I'm typing in my email. I'm making up a password. Email has already been taken. How about... I'm going to come back and finish this donation. I don't want to waste your time with me trying to figure out I should have looked at this in advance. But I'm going to finish my donation later. So I will... Let me just try one more... Okay, anyway. If I have to take, at the end of the live stream, I will complete this. I changed my t-shirt from yesterday, but I'm still wearing my same hoodie here. Okay, so let's think about what it is that I'm going to do today. Some other things I wanted to look at. Two things I wanted to update on. One is, let me go to p5.js on GitHub, because we filed a GitHub issue at the end of yesterday's live stream. And let's take a look at it. So this was the GitHub issue we filed on yesterday's live stream, which is that only in the WebGL mode currently, what did I click on there? Only the last light source is active, and it should look like this if I have a blue light on the left and a red light on the right. And some people took a look and found out that this code, like for example, here we go, this code calling point light multiple times only has a single uniform location. So thank you to this particular user here who added some more thoughts. And we can see there's a lot of thumbs up and some hearts. And so everyone, let's follow this GitHub issue, and hopefully soon it will get fixed. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that there's some more information had been posted there if anybody wants to take a look at that. The other thing I wanted to highlight, so I released a video this morning about the for of loop. So let's go, we don't need to watch that video, but I wanted to, I'm going to want to look at some of the comments. So first of all, here's one comment, isn't this just for each? So yes, that is a good point. Let's see what these replies say. Works slightly differently. For each loop over key value pairs. For each loop gives you a callback function that also has an index. So a for each loop is actually a sort of more sophisticated set of possibilities. And so I liked for of in its simplicity. This, also note the for in loop is something that you can use like for of, but it loops through keys in an object. And I wanted to, somebody mentioned something about performance. Which I don't see here at the moment that I wanted to read. I thought it seemed like a useful concept. Looking here. Yes. So let's look at this comment here. Yes. Please keep in mind that these abstract functions have a greater impact on performance. For example, for of is 80% slower than a regular for loop. I don't know. It'd be interesting to benchmark that to see if that's really true. This is something you don't need to take into account always, but there are cases where performance is everything. So I just wanted to point that out. Maybe I will pin this comment right now. if we think this is, oh no, I'm not logged in as myself. So I have the ability to pin a comment. So often if there's a really helpful clarification of something that I got wrong or expansion of something that I sort of missed, I can pin that comment to the top. So I just wanted to thank everybody for their comments on this video. Yes, so people are complaining that I was trying to type in some really short passwords. The thing is, I use a password aggregator. I don't know if that's the right password manager. That's the right term. And all my passwords are 12 characters. They're all a combination of letters, numbers, and symbols. I was just thinking, well, maybe sometimes I still have these historical old passwords on sites I signed up for a long time ago. And so I don't have my 1Password up, so I could look at it up on my phone. I'm not prepared to log into accounts during a live stream for a very specific reason. That's typically something I don't want to do by accident, like live streaming something that's not important. But how'd that SpaceX launch do? Any updates on that? So anyway, I use 1Password. I'm open to other suggestions for other password managers. That's the one that I happen to use. Okay, so let's talk about what it is we're going to do today. So I feel like I would like to start with createGraphics. If I come over here for a second, things that I also could potentially look at is loading a 3D model. If anybody has an OBJ file, family-friendly OBJ file that like a train or a rainbow or, not the teapot, something that I could use, a little cute character, but a simple one. I would love to make a tutorial that looks at loading one of those files in P5. So anybody in the YouTube chat could share a link, and then anybody in that chat could maybe repost that link in the Slack channel. I would like to maybe look at begin shape, end shape with textures to see how that works, because thank you to Bram in the patron group who sent me some code to help with that. And I really want to look at createGraphics as a texture and how createGraphics works. And then if there's time, I might do a straw poll to see if I can get to one of the coding challenges that I'm sort of compiling as possibilities for next week. So that's my plan. Train toy 3D model. Thank you, Bram. Okay, so that looks actually pretty great. What's the license on that would be the question. I'm not in the right view. Okay. Jihan says, I'm 10 minutes late. What have I missed? Nothing. You missed me attempt to donate to a good cause. I will finish that donation and maybe tweet a screenshot of my donation to plug it as well later, just so you guys keep me honest here. I don't want to say I'm going to donate to something and nothing. LastPass is also being suggested. Okay, so let me start today with looking at createGraphics. So this is, let me go to my usual technique of just going to the desktop and using the P5 manager to generate a bundle. I'm going to call this I'll just call it createGraphics. And then, no, that's not -G is P5, maybe I just say -G, P5G. Yeah, that generated a createGraphics sketch. And then I can run a little server. Then I can go, and I'm already doing that because I have stuff open already. Let's close this. Oh no, don't quit all of terminal. Oh, I'm the worst. createGraphics, let's run my server. And let's open this up in Atom. There's a way, I should really there's kind of some things I like to do to adjust the template, and I should just put those permanently in my P5 manager. So let's just make sure I've got a sketch going. Now, createGraphics is a function in P5 that allows you to create an off-screen canvas that you can draw to. And one of the reasons you might want to do this is, let's say you have a program, you've created a sketch you've created where you're kind of drawing a trail. But you also want to have something animate on top of that. And you're drawing the trail by not erasing the background. But the thing that's animating on top of that shouldn't have a trail. Well, you can create two separate kind of rendering contexts and layer them, and more than that. So I could just do this as a tutorial. I think that's what I'm leaning towards, and this will probably go in like the additional topics, even though that's kind of exploding with videos. But there could be a coding challenge associated with this as well. I will be doing a little more on WebGL. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I want to show you how you can then use a 2D context with createGraphics as a texture in a 3D world, which I think is kind of exciting. I will be here live. Destin asks, how long will you plan on this live stream? About another hour and 40 minutes, I would say. So let's make sure, let me close all this stuff. Everybody remind me later, say, hey, did you finish your project for awesome donation? Okay, so this is there. This is here. Just going to quickly see, does anybody have any suggestions about? I think I'm going to just do a simple drawing program with something that animates on top of it. I think that's kind of the most useful way of showing this. Okay. All right. Ooh. Fun function. I just got a YouTube alert. Teaching programming to children and teachers. Fun forum spotlight. If you don't watch the fun function channel, I highly suggest you do. It's a great YouTube channel. All right. Oh, I could draw a pen. That's interesting. Good idea, Alka. Okay, so let's get started. I was trying to do my warm-up. Stretch. Everybody stretch. Everybody, if you're watching and you're sitting at your computer hunched over like this, get up, stretch, jog in place, do the running man, do the wave. Okay. All right. Are you loose? Did you move your body around? If you did, now you're ready to program. Hello. This is a tutorial video for p5.js about a particular function, a function I really love, called createGraphics. And I'm kind of shocked that I haven't made this video yet because this is one of the classic things that comes up in every single intro programming graphics course that I've ever taught. So let's take a look at the problem. So let's say I just learned to program and I'm making a very simple sketch where what I want to do is I want to say if mouse is pressed, draw an ellipse at mouse X, mouse Y, and make that ellipse 64 pixels in diameter, and make that ellipse white with a stroke of white. All right, so this is a very simple sketch. All it's doing is when I press the mouse, I'm going to draw an ellipse. Now notice that background is in setup. So here's what I'm doing. Now, let's say what I want to do is I want to see also something animate over top of this. You know, an example of that could be like I want to actually draw something. Well, let's just do that right now. What if I wanted to draw, Alka suggested this in the chat, draw a pen or something where the mouse is. So let's just have another circle stand in for that pen. So I'm going to make a circle that's a different color and a little bit smaller, also at mouse X, mouse Y. It's always going to be there because, and maybe it changes color or something when I click the mouse. I don't know. But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to put that other circle there. Oh, well that's, whoa. Okay, so this is no good because I'm drawing the background in setup. Everything draws a trail. I never erase that background. How could I have something that I'm drawing to not erase the background and something that I'm drawing where I do erase the background? Well, createGraphics is the answer to this question. What createGraphics does is it allows you to make this canvas, this thing right here, I can make, when I say create canvas, I've made this. What createGraphics does is it actually makes another canvas. The only thing that's different, it's the canvas in the computer's mind. You don't see it. It's stored in memory. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, let's call this, I often call it canvas, but let me, what's another set of canvas context graphics? I'm just going to call this a graphics. And I'm going to say in setup, graphics equals createGraphics, and I'm going to also make it 400 by 300. Now what I'm going to do is, whenever I want to draw onto that off-screen thing in the computer's mind, I'm going to say graphics.background. And if mouse is pressed, graphics.fill, graphics.stroke, graphics.ellipse. So anything that I want to draw to that off-screen canvas, that's not the one that I see, I can now reference it. And again, graphics is my made-up variable name. This could be kitten canvas, kitten graphics, whatever it is. I'm just creating this off-screen buffer. Okay, so now let's refresh this. Whoa, what's going on here? I don't see it. So you have to remember, just because you draw something doesn't mean it's there and you see it. Once you've made this off-screen canvas, you have to explicitly add it to the screen. So I'm going to do that now. How do I do that? I'm going to say image graphics 0, 0. So the way that you take an off-screen canvas and place it is with the image function. As if it was like a JPEG you loaded, it's the same thing. It's a rectangle of pixels of some size with some stuff happening in it. All right, so let's look at this now. And we can see, look at that. So now, oh, whoa, what's going on? So this is the sad truth. The sad truth is I've run afoul of the world that we live in today. Oh, back in the day when I used to program with the snow up to here, we didn't have these screens with multiple pixel densities and high blah, 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 retina this and high density this. There's a little bit of an issue going on, which is that I am working with a high density display. And so in that case, there's actually 4 pixels for every one, and it's kind of mismatched what's happening in the off-screen buffer, the off-screen canvas and the on-screen one. So I'm going to have to do something just to fix this right now, and I hope this doesn't happen to you. I'm just going to say pixel density 1. So I'm going to say, hey, whatever kind of screen you're on, just ignore that, and just have a regular pixel density of 1. And that should hopefully fix this. And you can see it did. So you can see now that I have this animating circle and I have the background canvas. And there is another way I could have fixed that, by the way. I could have not had pixel density, because I did lose a little quality there. I could say pixel, and then I believe I could just shrink that image as I draw it. Why did that not work? All right, I'll have to investigate that. All right, let me go back to pixel density 1. Now here's what's interesting. So you have to remember, I have now drawn something that is a completely... Time out for a second. I'm getting some good suggestions. Set image graphics, yeah. Oh, hold on. Let's take a look. This is a little bit of an aside, but Eric in the chat is mentioning an example. I just was curious to compare. I'm going to come back to what I was doing. I just got distracted for a second. Oops, I must have typed in something wrong. Versatilis.github.io/p5 examples OSB. Oh, OSB. Whoops. OSB with cursor. Is there a space in this URL? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, interesting. Cool. So you can see another. This is a nice little example. From Eric in the chat. Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. I just was curious to take a look at that. This is great. So this is the kind of stuff I imagine people making. I want to come back to this, but let me just investigate this display density thing. That frustrated me. Why did that not work? Oh. I would have to make it double the size? That's weird. That's interesting. Oh wait, no, I'm on pixel density 1 still. There we go. So that's what I could also do that. Interesting. All right, hold on. So let me show this. I don't know if you can. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I did lose a little bit of quality in terms of the rendering quality. Actually, you're not going to see this because this is outputting through HDMI, and that is not a high density output. Anyway, the point is, though, if you didn't want to use pixel density 1, you could actually, oh, shoot. Everybody hold on. Let me try this again. All right. Okay. If you didn't want to use pixel density 1 because you're kind of losing some quality or something that was really important that you're doing, you could also not say pixel density 1, double the number of pixels for the off-screen graphics. In other words, for the default canvas is going to be handled for you, but now I could double those pixels and then shrink them back down when I show them. And I think this would then, it's the same thing, but I've retained, it's hard for you to see this, I don't know if you can see this, see the quality of that particular ellipse. Let's see if this shows through, versus if I say pixel density 1 and go back to this. Let me go backwards again, and there we go. You can can you see the difference there? The sort of a little bit of fuzziness. But anyway, this is not the primary thing that I want to talk about. I want to just look at the fact that createGraphics is a way of creating this off-screen buffer. So there's a lot that you could do with this. For example, let's say I am not actually going to draw this. Draw with the mouse. So I'm going to have a variable called x, and set that to a variable called x and a variable called y. I'm going to set those to 50, 50. I'm going to make a createGraphics that's 100 by 100. I'm going to have the, I'm going to draw the ellipse there, and I'm going to say x plus equals some random number. I'm just going to move x and y around randomly. And let's make this smaller. So let's see what happens here. And I'm actually also going to add a background to draw. So look, so now I have that, and let's just see, just to see what's going on here, let's make the background for the graphics object this. So you can see that is now, that's an off-screen element that I'm drawing onto the screen. So there's no reason why I couldn't do something like, oh, let me draw it twice. And now I see the same pattern repeating. And maybe what I could actually do is say push and translate, 200, 200, rotate by some angle, and draw the image again. Say pop, and I could create an angle variable. And now I could say angle plus equals 0.01. Whoops, angle, my E key still does not work. And you can see, now, and let's make that go a little faster. And let's say image mode center. And here we go. We can see now that thing that I'm drawing in an off-screen canvas is spinning. So it's a way of creating, there's so many ways we could mix and match these. I could tint it. So once it's a separate image, there's no reason why I can't manipulate it. And actually, what I'm going to do in another video, which is going to be in a different playlist, but I'm going to look at how I could take a 2D graphics context and make it a texture in a 3D world, which will expand on this idea even further. So Kelly in the chat is asking, is the createGraphics context always a rectangle? Would there be any way to make it polygonal, if I pronounced that word correctly? Now, yes. I mean, yes and no. So by definition, an image on the computer is a rectangular grid of pixels. There is no other way it can be, because it is actually just an array of numbers, of colors. However, there's no reason why we couldn't have certain pixels be transparent. Let me show you what I mean by that. What if I actually never, okay, so first of all, let me fix this. Let me put this somewhere where we can see it. That first version of the image, let me put it at 100, 100. So we can see this is the sort of plain canvas that I'm drawing on. This is the one spinning around. Why not? What if I wanted it to appear circular? Well, there's no reason why I had to draw that background on it. An off-screen canvas will actually begin as fully transparent. Look what happens now. So look at this. When it's fully transparent, now it's still rectangular. I can't expand off of it, but I could create the illusion of it being circular. So now what I could do is I could have said at the beginning, draw an ellipse that's at the middle that has a diameter of 100 and make that ellipse, gray. Whoa. Oops, I forgot. This is a classic mistake. I wanted to make that ellipse gray, but I forgot to say graphics.fill. So now it looks like I have this like circular thing. And by the way, I could, there's no reason why I couldn't just move that one around with the mouse. So it looks like it's a circular thing, and it's behind this one. Now, the thing is, it's actually not circular. I'm getting lucky, but you can see how that thing walked off of that circle. So I would probably have to do something. One thing I could do, there's probably a way that I could always keep those edge pixels transparent, or I could constrain the motion of that particular ellipse. I mean, I'm just like spinning my wheels, spinning my gears here, just trying random things. I'm going to pause for a second to see if anybody else in the chat has any questions of any features I could add. All right, I'm looking to see if anybody has anything else in the chat they want to mention. Throw down some clip. So Alka mentions that Canvas has a clip function. So that's something that I would have to implement with native HTML5 Canvas. Can you use your mouse to draw the same thing twice? Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so let's try that. So I'm going to mention a couple of these things. All right. A couple notes have come in from the chat that are worth mentioning. One is that everything in P5 is wrapping native HTML5 Canvas functionality, and there is a clip function that's part of the native HTML5 Canvas. So that's something that you could investigate perhaps using as well. I haven't looked into that, but I will look into that. I'm also being told, breaking news, that I forgot about this, that if I wanted to dynamically figure out the scaling, the pixel density function, I'll show you this, if I call pixel density with a number, this is me specifically setting a pixel density. But if I call it without an argument, it's actually going to return to me the current pixel density, which is 1 because I set it. But if I don't set it, and I call it, you can see that it's 2. So this is something that I could potentially use to, what am I trying to say? This is something I could potentially use to dynamically determine the pixel density and scale the off-screen canvas to be the same as the on-screen canvas. But again, that's a little bit of an aside here. So let's think about this. What if I take this one step? So people are asking, could I continue to do the drawing thing? So let's actually try to get the drawing thing to work still. No, I don't want to do that. I think this is pretty much all that I want to do here. Am I live streaming somewhere else? No, just here. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to add to this? I think this is kind of the idea. And I think I'll just move to doing the you can make like a radar on the green. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things I could do. I was thinking I could like stamp it multiple times, but I think this is the idea. So I'm going to, yes. I won't BFF gaming. I see your comment. All right, so I'm going to move on from this example. So here's some exercises for you to try. You can, if you make of something, you can share it in the comments or tweet me at Schiffman. But one thing you do, could you make a particle system where the elements of the particles, each particle is actually an off-screen canvas that has some kind of like algorithmic thing happening on it? Could you create a drawing system where the user gets to draw and then the drawing is shown tiled in multiple different ways? What if you use, like, instead of either just erasing the background or not erasing the background, what if you use like an alpha as part of the background, so you see these kind of like fading trails? There's a lot of possible things that you could look at and do. So I hope you make some more stuff with createGraphics in P5. And if you're interested in looking at this same topic but applied in WebGL, look for a link in this video's description to that. Okay, thank you, goodbye. All right. Deep Space Void is saying it sort of looks like a random walker. In fact, yes, this is exactly a random walker. I probably should have mentioned that. All right, so let's now go towards doing this in WebGL. So let me go back to my WebGL example. And, whoops. What do I have here? P5 WebGL. Didn't I make a backup of that WebGL debugging? So I guess let me just start over from scratch here. Again, if anybody has any good ideas for texturing, using, one is, this is actually the only way at present, I think, to do text. So let's look at that. All right, so I'm going to say p5g-b graphics texture. Then I'm going to go there, and I'm going to open that up. I really got to change my template. Let's have the video, the tutorial, actually start with something already, like a spinning cube, didn't I? So, and we'll say rotate X, angle, rotate Y, angle times 1.3, rotate Z, angle times 0.7. This is just totally arbitrary. Box 100. Let's add ambient light, directional light. Let's just add a directional light, 255, from the top, I don't know, right or something. That's it. Let's take a look at this. Let's run a server. And let's see what we've got here. Whoops, directional lights, directional light. All right, that didn't work because it needs to have all three. An angle plus equal. All right, I guess I should, so I maybe, if I add some ambient light, that's just like a little bit less bright. That's kind of what I was going for. And let's actually just have it shine from, where does, oh, that's fine. And that's Z. So let's have it shine from the top. So that's actually the bottom. All right. All right, that's spinning really fast. Okay, so here we are. I now have a simple WebGL context. Let's get rid of the sound library, get rid of the style thing. No, I refuse to do something sensible, like change my template now before I forget. Okay, so we now have a standard WebGL example. And what I'm going to do now, I have to think about this, is I would like to use createGraphics as a texture. What would be interesting? Should I just do the random walker thing again? I mean, well, text is one thing that you have to do this way, so I could start with that. And then I could maybe even just pull one of my previous examples that's like some kind of algorithmic pattern, like with a fractal tree or something. So maybe I'll grab the fractal tree example and we'll look at that. So let me find one of those. Fractal tree p5.js. So basically this example. And where is the code for that? Coding challenge 14. Coding challenges number 14. Fractal tree, sketch.js. Okay, great. So this is what I'm going to attempt to do. All right. I think we're good, yes? Any last suggestions? All right. Hello. Welcome to another. Start over. Hold on. Hello. Welcome to another WebGL p5.js tutorial. In this one, I am going to, actually don't even have this on my list of stuff, but I'm going to look again at the texture function. And previously I looked at how to use an image or a video as a texture. In this video, I want to look at how to make an off-screen graphics buffer, essentially like a 2D canvas that I'm drawing somewhere else, how to make that a texture in the 3D world. And the way to do that is with a function called createGraphics. Now I should mention, I have another video entirely just about createGraphics that'll be linked to in this video's description if you want to go look at that, but I'll also explain it in this video so you can just keep watching. Okay, so I'm starting with a very simple WebGL example. The only thing in this example is a sort of empty space with a spinning cube. And the cube, and oops, the code is here. There is a single directional light, there's an ambient light, and I'm kind of rotating this box, using the box function to make this cube. So we know that the texture function works. And I could, time out for a second. Let me get the kittens. And so let me just add a kitten really quick. Now we know that the texture function works. In a previous video, I also have here, I'm loading like an image of a kitten. So just to see that texture works, let's add texture and then that kitten. Is that what I called it? Kitten, yes. So if I add that, we now see the kitten on the side, that same kitten on the side of each side of the box. Now one thing that would be an interesting exercise is how would you make a different image on each side? you're going to have to make this a custom shape. Maybe you make it a bunch of planes, maybe use begin shape, end shape. I'll come back to that in another video. But right now, and we should make the light come from the front actually. So I'm going to have the light come from the front, just directly from the front, this directional light, because I want to be able to see the beautiful bright kittens as they face forward. Okay, so, but what I want to do is not have it be an image. So a way that I can create canvas is a function that makes a canvas, and I've made a canvas, a WebGL 3D rendering canvas. But I can also use another function, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to create a variable, I'm just going to call it graphics. And I'm going to say graphics equals createGraphics. And now I'm going to make a square image, 200, 200. So I'm now making a graphics object that's 200 by 200. And this is something that can be textured to the box. So this graphics object, it's like a canvas. I can texture it to the box. So let's look now. Let's refresh. Now I don't see anything. Why do I not see anything? Because when I make a graphics context, the first thing it is just transparent pixels. But I can call any of P5's 2D drawing functions on that graphics object. So I could say graphics.background and say background 255. And now we see that is there. And you know what I could do? I could even say graphics.background. And now this is going to flicker, so a little flickering warning here in advance. Random color. You can see this is now just giving it a random background every frame. So whatever I would draw on it, so for example, I could also do something like graphics ellipse, mouse X, mouse Y, 20, and I could say fill, oh no, graphics.fill 255, 0, 255. Now watch what this will do. Look, as I move the mouse around, I'm kind of drawing on that graphics object, and it's still textured to each side of the cube. Now, when would you want to do this? Number one is just when you want to do something kind of goofy or interesting. I'm sure you can think of creative uses of this more than I can, but here's a reason why you might actually have to use it. At present, I don't know that this will always be true, but at present, the only way to render text in 3D is to actually use, with the text function, is to place the text on a 2D graphics context and then make that a texture. So for example, if I wanted to have a message like let love equal, I'm going to make another graphics context. Graphics equals create, oh no, love equals create graphics graphics. So my kids used to say, instead of breakfast, brefkiss or breakfast. And I feel like every time I say graphics, I'm saying it wrong. It should be graphic. But anyway, create graphics. No, I've lost my train of thought. 300, 100. And then I'm going to say love.fill 255. And I'm going to say love.text-align center. And then I'm going to say love.text 100, the word love 150, 50. So this now should be a two-dimensional graphics context that's 300 by 100 that has the word love in it. So first, just to see that this is working, let me texture it. Oops. All right, what happened? What did I do wrong here? Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Interesting. Oh, whoa. Okay, so one thing that just happened there, which I wasn't aware of would happen, and let's say love.text size 64 to make it bigger, is that, so here we go. Now, one thing you'll notice is, again, an image, a texture, a graphics thing is transparent by default. So I'm actually just seeing those letters on the side, but the rest of that cube is transparent. If I had said love.background and I said 0, for example, this now I don't see that cube as transparent anymore. So that's an important thing to notice. And I could make it semi-transparent, like I could say 255, comma 100. So now it's like semi-transparent. So there's a lot of possible things I can do here. Okay, but there was an important thing I wanted to mention, which is that when I made, and I wanted this to be more in the center. There we go, that's more in the center. When I made the graphics context not a square, like 300, comma 200, it broke. So I'm not sure whether this is a bug in the p5 WebGL at present or whether this is just something that you actually really have to be conscientious of. But because what I would have expected it to do was take that image and kind of like squish it onto the side of the cube, but it's not doing that at present. So that's something I might have to investigate in the future. But what I wanted to like, what I was actually thinking is, what if let's just take this out for a second. What if I just wanted the text to appear and almost look flat? The way that I would probably do that would be to say texture, love, plane, 300, comma 200. So a plane is a flat surface with a given width and a height. So if the text itself is exactly, if the off-screen canvas is exactly 300 by 200, if I make the plane 300 by 200, it should map directly. So let's take a look at that. And that also did not work. So what's the issue? Look at this. So it looks like the issue is, at present, p5 WebGL can only take square textures. This is a bit of a problem. So this to me seems like a bug. Let's just change this by 1 pixel. Yeah, it broke. So that's got to be, now it sort of makes sense, but if I used an image that's not a square, I'm kind of off outside of this video now. These are, is this a square? No, these aren't perfect squares. That's definitely not a square. It is 100 by 90. Well, hold on, that's not the one that I was actually using. 100 by 98. Yeah, so that's got to be a bug. Oh, we found a bug. I'm looking at the chat. Make it 500 by 500 to test the resize. This is a good thing. Yeah, so that was fine. All right, so hold on. So to me, I feel like this is a bug because I know for a fact that this kitten image was not a perfect square image, so there's no reason why p5 can't figure out how to take a non-square image and kind of squish it or stretch it onto a non-square or a square piece of geometry. So, but I'm going to leave that aside. Maybe sometime by the time you're watching this, there'll be some information in the comments or the video's description about how that's fixed. But no matter, if all I wanted to do was display text, there's no reason why I couldn't just make, for now what I can do is I can make my graphics object and plane object match size. I can position this in the center the way that I want to. I can make it have a transparent background, and I can say, use that as a plane, and here we go. So whoops, what have I done? So I need to say text align. Whoa, okay, hold on, I'm missing a couple things. Text align center, the createGraphics, I wanted it to be 300 by 300. I messed up some stuff. Oh, whoa, oh, because I changed that. This was something I was using previously. Sorry, everybody. And now, there we go. So, and by the way, if I take this out, now I have just text in 3D that appears 2D. The reason why I'm showing this to you is because now if I put the rotation back in, if I put the lighting back in, we can see this is now just appearing like text in 3D, which is what I wanted to show you in the first place. So this is how you do text in 3D, but this could be anything. So for example, what if I've drawn, I'm not sure if I wanted to keep going with this. Yeah, 3.js is awesome. People in the chat are talking about it. You should use 3.js. You should learn it. You should use it. It's wonderful. I just am using this because it's a project I'm working on, and it's the thing that I know and I love. But yeah, if you really want to do robust, fully featured 3D that's like high performance, at present, 3.js is going to be a better library. I mean, there's different metrics. It might not be as simple of a library. It might not have other aspects beyond just 3D, but for just pure 3D. All right, do I want to go on and add the fractal tree thing? I mean, I'll just make that an exercise, right? I'll make that an exercise. So here's an exercise for you. Find some interesting 2D animation generative designs. For example, you could take this fractal tree design that I do a video about, the code is over here. I'll link to both of these in the video's description. Can you make this tree a texture on a piece of 3D geometry? What happens if you texture it to a sphere, a torus, a cube, that type of thing? So give that a try and see how that goes. Thanks for watching. All right, Menger sponge would be cool, right? Oh, the Menger sponge in p5.js would be a cool idea. Okay. So I think this is good. Where are we now? 11:45. I've got about an hour. What else can I do? What else can I do today? So here's the thing. Should I try loading an OBJ file? Does anybody have one for me? I would love to try this. Why not, right? I guess I could do both of these. Should I keep going and just be done with the WebGL stuff? Let's try loading an OBJ file. Train file, okay. So here's my problem, Alka. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm in the wrong camera. Thank you very much for that OBJ file. I have to get it onto this computer. So is there a, from Bram. So I need just a bit.ly link or something like that I can download it here real quick. All right, 3D fractal. Oh, I should totally do like a 3D tree, right? All right. So if anybody could give me a link to download it. Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of fancy software I could use to move things from computer to computer. Actually, I have that set up right here because I have this like Dropbox folder for some kind of like, I don't know what account this is logged into. Hold on. Buffering. codingtrainlive@gmail.com. And what am I logged into here? All right, I'm getting the link. Oh, wait. Bram got a link. Okay, great. So, all right, I'm back. All right, so let me type that in. GOO.GL, capital P. Oh, this is better. Alka, thank you. Alka.tv/static/train.obj. Okay, there we go. All right, I've got this OBJ file. Ooh, look at that. Oh, yay! Toot, toot. All right, we are going to try this. This is very exciting. Ooh, I'm so excited. All right, so I'm gonna be a little smarter about this today and not create as much work for Mergin. And I'm going to just copy this folder, call this loadModel, and we'll keep the kittens in there. I'm going to go back and go into loadModel and run the server and open it in Atom. And let's get rid of all this stuff. Let's keep the kitten in there just in case. Let's keep the angle in there. Let's keep the lights in there and the box. And do I now have a simple example? Here we go. How come it's not? Oh, I forgot. Angle plus equals 0.3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 03. All right. Okay, so here we go. I am now going to attempt to replace this with a model of a train. So hold on. So, whoops, no. Ah, come on. Don't, no. No, 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 no. I don't want to copy the name of the file. I want to copy the file. And I don't actually need to copy the file. I'll just move it. All right. OK, here we go, everybody. All right. Oh, everybody always asks me this. So I do this a lot. And I'm using command / to do that. I also use this a lot. Command square bracket to indent or not indent a selection. A little tidbit for you, for everybody. I get asked that a lot. By the way, I'm terrible at this stuff, so everybody else has much better ways of doing this stuff. OK. Hello, I'm back. Sorry. Hello, I am back here, and again, this is never ending, but there's so much more to do with WebGL and p5. This video, I'm going to look at this, loadModel and an OBJ file. This is a toy train. It is a three-dimensional physical actual toy train. In what I have already on the computer here is a file that is in the format OBJ. So there are a lot of different file formats for 3D models. A 3D model file is a file that has inside of itself all of the geometry, all the vertices, all the specifications for a three-dimensional geometry, a thing that's going to exist in 3. I am totally fired from the coding train. Let me just start over again. Give me one mulligan for today. I think the issue is that I have the sniffles. That's not. Don't litter, folks. All right. Hello, here we are. In this video, I'm going to attempt to take this three-dimensional toy train and put it into my computer somehow. Not really. And the topic here is that I want to, this is in my WebGL 3D p5.js series, I want to look at loadModel. So what if I had a file on my computer that had all the geometry for a train in it, or anything else? So you might know about 3D modeling. Maybe you use some type of 3D authoring environment to create your own 3D models. This little piece just fell off. Maybe you go to a website and you found somebody else's 3D model to download. But there are lots of different file formats. So that's sort of the question. But the file format that you want to look for to import a 3D model into p5 is OBJ. Woo! Did that blow out everybody's ears? Really, all of a sudden, I hope I'm not getting another cold. Maybe it's just an allergy. It's an allergy. Oh, I definitely have an allergy to the third dimension. This is a very strange thing, but I am allergic to the z-axis. It's very weird. I don't know if you know this about me. OK. Let's go over to the computer and see what happens. All right, so on this computer, I already have a file called train.obj. Thank you to Bram for helping me find this file. Bram in the patron group. I'm actually, let's look at this file. Look at this. So this was originally made in Rhino. That's like a comment. And look at all this stuff. That's actually what's in a 3D model. It's just all of these vertices. These are all the X, Y, Z coordinates. So you can make your own geometry algorithmically with primitive 3D shapes or begin shape, vertex, end shape. But here's a file format that has a lot of vertices in it already. I love looking at that. So how do I get that into P5? Well, I still have a kitten in this. Let's leave the kitten here. Just maybe we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to make a variable called train. And in preload, I'm going to say train equals loadModel. So the loadModel function is just like load image, loads image data, load JSON, loads JSON data, load model, loads a three-dimensional model. And there's no reason why I couldn't replace now box with drawing that model, which is with the function model train. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. All right, I failed here. What went wrong? Uncaught, maximum call state, render GL, flatten. Okay, so what happened here? I'm looking at, wonder if the OBJ file, okay. I think we might have found a bug in P5, which is that it's possible, I'm not so sure yet, but it's possible that loadModel doesn't actually work in preload. Let's put this here. No. Hold on. Hold on. Let me fix this and then go back into the video. It is there. I have to go back to an old version. This also broke. Shoot. Where was my CDN? Why is this open? One of these, yeah, let's grab this. Let me get the CDN link to see. And let's go check that. So I'm just trying now an older version of P5. Let's try 0.14. Whoa, oh, I'm in the wrong sketch here. Oh, I did the wrong, I did the wrong, I changed it in the wrong sketch, sorry. Let's try 0.14. There we go. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is working. Problem importing model. So there's already an issue. Okay, great. So, so that's good, but that's the problem. Let me go back to, let me just put it in preload again, because that's the easiest place to do it. Yeah, okay. And so interestingly enough, this model is not like centered around, so, okay. Let me just break it real quick. So that it's broken. Okay. Okay, so I've determined what the error was. Unfortunately, at the time of this recording, there is an issue. Hold on, let me try it. Let me go back. Okay, so I've determined what that error is. Let me open up the GitHub issue. GitHub issue, processing p5.js. What is, Yeah, the model's not centered around 0. If you can fix that up and I'll re-download it, I'll make that part of the video. Because that's something that's going to happen to people. Issue 2263. Issues 2263. Okay, let's bring this up. Oh, is it actually only with large models? So would this have worked fine with a smaller model? Okay, so I'll mention that. All right. Okay, so I have figured out why this broke, and unfortunately it broke because that model that I'm loading, the train model, is actually quite a complex one. There's no reason why it can't work, and it should at some point work. There's actually, at the time of this recording, there is a GitHub issue on the p5.js repo, so if you're watching this in the future, go and check this. Maybe it's been resolved, but the way that I fixed it right now is I just reverted to an earlier version of p5. The version that I'm now running is 0.5.14. So let's now I have this ready, and I'm going to hit refresh. There's the train spinning. There's my 3D model train. Now, interestingly enough, why is it spinning like a crazy thing? Let's go and put the box back in. Let's add the box as well. Now you can sort of see what's going on. So one thing that's important when you're importing a model is, well, what is the model's own internal coordinate system? And in this case, this model that I happen to import, it is not centered itself around 0, 0, and this is going to make it much harder for me to use. I could do like some kind of offset, like manually, like maybe I could figure it out. I could say something like, right before I draw the model, let me translate like maybe negative 200 or like 100 along the x-axis. That's closer. Let me try like negative 200. Oh, that got further away, so maybe it's not that. So I could try to debug and figure this out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to revise, or perhaps Alka has already done this for me. Alka in the chat has revised the model to center around 0. So hold on for a second. I'll be right back with a magical new model. Okay, so thank you, Alka. Alka.tv. Why is it not coming up for me already? Static train corrected.obj. So I'm going to grab that train corrected, and I'm going to go to desktop, load model. I'm going to put that in there, train corrected. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to change. I now have a new OBJ file, train corrected. We can look at it, actually. It might be worth just taking a peek at it, because we can see, look at these numbers now. They look more like they're smaller, and there's some negative ones, so maybe it's actually centered around 0, 0. So let's try this model. Let's go back and load it. We can see, oh, okay, well, that box is still there. So the train is now stuck inside the box. Let's actually get rid of the box, and there we go. So there's the train. So what should I do? Now, hopefully this is like an open source model off the the source, but I'm going to post this code. Hopefully now everyone watching can make some goofy like 3D animations with smoke coming out of the train or that sort of thing. But let's try to just experiment with this a little more. So for example, what if I just have the ambient light have some color? So you can see that this model is going to respond to the light. What if I were to give it a different material? Like what if I try specular material? That's white. Right? Can you see? Does that look different? I can't really tell. So did that material apply? I don't know. Let's see a normal material. Let's give it a normal material, which is that debug rainbow color. Yeah, so the material, normal material is certainly applying. It's unclear to me whether the specular one did or it's just hard to see. So you can see that that's working. And I don't see any reason why I couldn't texture the train. Let's try that. Oh my goodness, it's the kitty cat train. All aboard the kitty cat train. Meow, meow, meow. Sorry. You know, I have to try some attempt to make these videos more interesting. It's mostly failed attempts, but so you can see this actually, like, the P5 somehow decided it would texture this in some arbitrary way. So wonderful. So I could do more with this. I would love to, figure out how to make the train move and then have some smoke come out of it. Maybe the smoke could be spheres with cloudy textures or something like that. But I'm going to leave that to you as an exercise. Now you can see that in addition to making geometry with your own, primitive shapes, you can also load a model from an OBJ file. And something I still haven't shown you, which I do intend to do, is how to make a custom piece of geometry using begin shape and end shape. Thanks very much. All right. There we go. All aboard the pink. It kind of looks like Rosie. Maybe? No? All right. How are we doing? 12:05. What could I possibly do? All right. Just to mention, I'm noticing that I'm getting some DMs in the Patreon Slack channel. So that's a fully corrected model. That's fine. I'll add that in. I term. I don't look at those. It's too much. But so if there's something really important, just post it in the live channel. Okay. Can you rotate the camera with the mouse? Absolutely. But that might require me to use quaternions. All right, so now the question is, do I dare attempt to do the custom shape? And then I can really feel done with 3D, except for shader. I also should possibly consider redoing the camera and perspective video, but I guess I'll hold off on that. I haven't heard from magical editor Mathieu just yet. All right. So let's take a look. I have about 40 minutes. Should we try something? Let's try a little straw poll. Just see what happens. So last thing. So I could do custom shape in 3D. And then let me go to, this is very, very dangerous that I'm doing this, but I really should just save these for Thursday. But I'm curious to hear your opinion. Issues, assigned to Schiffman. So this is kind of a list of stuff I could do right now. Word to Vec. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, I'm in the wrong camera. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. I'm really getting bad at this. I used to be just so good at it, and now I forget all the time. Do I dare do this? All right, so here's some things. Word to Vec. Image stippling. So if you don't know what image stippling is, let's look at, it's kind of like doing a pattern of dots to create an image like this. I really want to do this at some point. I probably should research this before I do it. Not. Oh, this is a cool suggestion from Ruby with You can see these like crazy. Oh, this is 3D. Huh. This would make sense to try to do, actually. How would I do this in P5? Would it really work? I would probably want to do this in processing to make these like crazy knots. Okay, so that's one thing. 3D knot. That would kind of make sense to do since the theme has been WebGL. What was the other? What else was there? Electron app. Oh boy. Electron app basics. And ASCII art generator. Why did I? Oh, GitHub, more. I'm not going to do that. More Git and GitHub and ASCII art generator. I have no idea what I would do to do that. Let's just see. Let's see what people are interested in right now. Here's your straw poll, everybody. Yeah, that's one reason why that I kind of feel like maybe I should save Word to Vec for January, because it goes with the machine learning stuff. I sort of feel like I should continue with the WebGL. 3D autonomous agents, voids. I didn't put the voids in there. Use shaders to do all this stuff. That's a good idea. I don't have a lot of time. Most of these things are going to take me more than 30 minutes to do. I probably shouldn't, I think I shouldn't do any of this. See how many people are watching right now. I should just do the begin shape, end shape. Yeah, someday I'll do shaders. If you want to learn shaders, I mentioned this yesterday, bookofshaders.com. Oh, wrong. Maybe it's the Book of Shaders? Yeah. So this is a wonderful, wonderful step-by-step guide and tutorial with interactive examples by Patricio Gonzalez Vivo and Jen Lowe. So highly recommend. Highly recommend this. This is way better than anything I could ever do. All right. All right, that's been a minute and a half. Get your votes in now. And just realize that it's quite unlikely I'm actually going to listen to what you say. Oh no. Did you guys hear that? That was the fire alarm. But it went on and then went off immediately, like really quickly. But there could be, no, but it wouldn't go on again. All right, let's see. Interesting. Whoa, really close here. This is too close. We need a runoff. Image stippling, electron app, 3D knot. I mean, I kind of think that the electron app, I don't know, does that really make sense to do right now? The image stippling, I feel like I want to save for next Thursday because it's going to be awesome. But it's kind of like off what we're doing today. Although it would be cool to make that image stippling like a texture. I feel like I should try the 3D knot. The question is, how would I possibly do that? Because that's actually kind of I think that's probably a pretty easy challenge to do. The issue is like, is there any way to render that? Because you really need like tubes in 3D. And I'm pretty sure in processing, refresh, okay, fine. Electron app, wow, you guys are really interested in the electron app stuff. That is something on my list to do before the end of the year. That's kind of interesting. Custom torus, right? I mean, yes, there's no reason why I can't do my own tube algorithm, but that's a whole project unto itself. In processing, I'm pretty sure you can connect vertices, and it will kind of make like a 3D line, which is essentially like a tube for you. And I don't fidget spinner. I don't think. So, okay, so why don't we just do it in processing and I'll come back. Let's do the knot. Why not? Where's my laugh track? I don't have a laugh track? Come on, I've got to have a laugh track. I have an applause track. I have a TikTok. I don't have a laugh track for my why not joke? Oh, well, guess I'll just have to use that. All right. What about some random numbers? All right. It's been a while. I mean, one reason for me to save all this for Thursday is I want to do a whole set of coding challenges, and I want them to be in both processing and P5. So maybe I should just finish. Nobody wants me. Oh no, custom shape in 3D, that got some votes. Maybe I should just finish the 3D tutorials. And this is really helpful for me to see that I could do these all next week. How disappointed are you all going to be? Yeah, by the way, first of all, I did not wake up this morning to hundreds and hundreds and thousands of notifications with net neutrality memes with me and my loading animation. I made ridiculous, I did all sorts of ridiculous stuff yesterday. Go back and look. All right. It's okay. Maybe that's just not meant to be. I was not meant to be a meme. Custom shape. All right. 3D knots in the lead. Refresh results. All right. I'm gonna do a runoff. I'm wasting so much time just thinking about this. I can't decide. What do I do? Let's just do a quick runoff. 3D not in processing. Finish WebGL in p5.js tutorials, which really means custom shapes. All right, everybody. Here you go. Please vote for the custom shapes. I will do whatever it turns out to be. Please vote for the custom shapes. I'm going to vote for the custom shapes. Oh, it actually shows me the results. Oh, I'm the only person who's voted. That's weird. Oh, because you guys are behind me in time. Okay, oops. Can I please see the arrow bookmark? I don't know what that is. What is the arrow bookmark? Oh, arrow. What is that? I have no idea. Oh, it's like an image. I don't know. It's in there by accident. That's funny. I'm going to delete that. Go back to, whoops. Uh-oh. I lost my straw poll. Here it is. All right. And now, on today's Behind Door Number 1 is the 3D knot in processing, which will undoubtedly fail, because that's going to be really complicated. Behind door number 2, you should pick door number 2. It's a really exciting tutorial about just using begin shape and end shape in p5.js. All right, I'm going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the people have spoken. The internet has spoken. I must obey the internet. The sad thing is, I now have to erase this. So, oops, you didn't even see. I didn't even, this doesn't work the way that I want it to. I have to erase this because there's no doubt that I'm going to have to do a diagram. I don't have time to do this 3D knot thing. This is insane. All right. So here's the thing. Everyone should just be prepared for me to run out of time and have not finished this coding challenge. And it's possible that if that happens, I'll come back later this afternoon. But I really do have to finish, I kind of might have to like 5 of 1. I have a thing at 1. So like I could go a little bit past 12:45. It does bring me great happiness and joy to use processing. This is very similar to the Lorenz attractor that I made. Okay. All right, here we go, everybody. So, not. Okay. Good news. Ruby already made this in processing. Wow, look at these, so cool. Now, I kind of want to look at the code, but I'm not going to. So, oh, you know what's so exciting about this? I get to open up processing. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't have, I'm pretty sure I don't have the most recent version of processing, so let's just go and download that. Oh, no, it's from September, I must. Let's see. Is that really true? Simon says this is the first time I'm using processing since I broke my elbow. Interesting. 3.3.6. Which version did I just download? Okay, so I already have the most recent version. Great. So I can close, no, I don't want to close the web browser, but I can close Terminal, and I can close Atom, and I can get rid of this, and I can open up processing like this. Oh, this is so exciting. I need some like I'm in love music. Oh, processing. Oh, I love you. You are my friend. Good night. That didn't really work the way I'd hoped. All right, so let's add some stuff here just to get started. Let's save knots. I like barely remember how to do anything in Java. Okay. Here we go, everybody. Hello and welcome. No, that's so good. Hello, I have a very exciting coding challenge for you today. I'm going to attempt to make some 3D knots. Now these are 3D knots made in processing by Ruby. Ruby, who submitted issue number 70 to the Rainbow Topics repository. This is related to supershapes, or maybe not related, but the idea came from after supershapes. Knots would be a great follow-up. So there's this Wikipedia link, and as I often do, there is the Paul Bork website, which has tons of mathematical formulas for geometry. And I guess I thought back in 2016 I might like to tackle it, and I took so long that Ruby, in fact, tackled it herself. And you can see these wonderful, you can take a look at this GitHub repo. Now, I haven't actually looked at the code here. Whatever, I affirm that I have not looked at the code here. But I'm going to certainly look at the Paul Bork website, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to end up being very similar to another coding challenge where I did the Lorenz attractor. So let's take a look. So let's see if we can find the simplest way to do this. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but yes, 5. No, where's my laugh track? Okay, why not do the knots? Oh, this is just getting better with every minute. All right, so let's look at what. I want to find the first instance of a formula. Okay, here we go. there are a whole family of curves, including knots. I don't know how well you can read this. Let's make this a little bigger. There are a whole family of curves, including knots, which are formed by the equations x equals r times cosine of phi times cosine of theta, y equals r times cosine of phi times sine of theta, z equals r times sine of phi. Now, I've done this before, right? Didn't I have a video about spherical geometry where this was really, 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 really similar? So I would just go back and review that, right? We can find the points along a 3D sphere by having two different angles and this idea of spherical coordinates and using spherical coordinates. So what this is probably weaving a path around that sphere is going to end up with some interesting knot patterns. So for example, we could do it this way. Whoa. So which are the equations, right, for converting from polar to Cartesian coordinates, that we make them r theta phi a function of the parameter beta, which ranges from 0 to pi. Look at this. Oh, I love this. Okay. So first let's get these formulas. Let's grab this formula and let's put this in our code. So I have a blank sketch here. I'm doing this in processing, which has a robust 3D rendering environment, p3.js. I've been doing recently a lot of video tutorials about WebGL in p5.js, so maybe I'll try to redo this one. So let's put these formulas in here. I'm going to put them up here, just in the comments. Now let's get these formulas and put them here as well. So this is really, I believe, all that I need. So first, I'm going to have a variable. Let's just do the whole thing all at once. So we can animate it, have it grow. We'll figure out that stuff as we go. But first, let me just try to draw the entire knot. So I need to have a variable. I'm going to call it beta, which equals 0. And I'm going to say while beta is less than pi. Right? Isn't that what it said? 0 to pi, that's the range. The first thing I'm going to do is these. So I'm going to say, convert these now. I'm going to say float r equals this formula. Float theta equals, can someone in the chat confirm that I'm pronouncing the Greek letter phi correctly? I know some people say phi, but I think it's actually phi. So great, I'm going to add my semicolons. So now I have calculated an r, a theta, and a phi. So once, and this should say pi, it has to be all capital letters for the constant. Now, what I'm going to do now is take these. Now, I'm actually in some ways done. I have the polar, the spherical coordinates for this knot pattern. But what I need to do is, processing only knows about Cartesian coordinates, x, y, z. So that's what this next step is. Whoops. So I need to get these formulas. And I can say float x, float y, and float z, and just make sure I put in my semicolons. And then let's just let's just go for broke here. I want to, one thing is I need beta to increase. So I'm going to say beta plus equals 0.1. And I'm just going to say begin shape, end shape. Is this going to work? I'm going to say no fill, stroke 255, and I'm just going to set a vertex. Vertex at x, y, z. Oops, let's run this. What did I get? Is there anything there? Oh, so first of all, I forget. The origin point is the top left corner in processing. So let's translate to the middle. And let's run this again. I'm hoping to see just, look, there's something. There's my knot pattern. Look, oh, it's beautiful. Look at the knot pattern. So what happened? I'm getting values, and it's making some pattern, but those values are probably really, really tiny. So what I need to do is really expand it out. I could use scale or something, but let's actually just try. I have a feeling that if I just take r and kind of multiply that whole r being that radius by like something like 100, I'm going to see something more looking like the knot. There we go. Look at that. That kind of looks like it. Now, it's very jagged, so I probably need finer detail. So let's increase beta by less. Let's just try like 0.01. So now I actually have like 100 points for every, oh no, 10 points for every 1 point I had before. There we go. Now we're definitely starting. Now, is this really 3D? I believe it is, but let's confirm that by, let's have an angle. And let's just do a little bit of rotation, like rotate Y by that angle, and increase the angle by some small amount. There we go. Whoa, so you can see, and that's going really fast, so let's slow that down. I could map it to the mouse or something. So you can see there is the knot. So first of all, boom, done. We now have this knot. And now there's just so much that we could do. Ooh, let's try adjusting the formulas a little bit. So let's try top, side, front. Yes, not 5. So these are some, oh look, there's even some source code here that I could have copied. So I'm 8 knot, whoa. Oh, look at this, there's all these different possibilities. So actually, so what I'm going to do as an exercise, I'm going to let people explore. Ooh, I really would like to do this one. I'm going to let people explore and try to make other versions of these knots. And let's just try, what I want to do is show you a little bit more about different ways you could render the knot. So one thing that I think is worth looking at is how could I have that knot animate its path? Well, first of all, how could I make it, can I say stroke weight in 3D? Will that make the, because a stroke in 3D is really like a tube. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so that made it a little thicker, I think, if I say 8. Right, so this is worth doing. I could also probably mess around with the color. So I could say like stroke XYZ or something, and it's going to give me like an RGB value according to its XYZ value. This is just like normal material in P5. So you can see you can start to play with the colors of the pattern. But what I really want to do, and let me, I sort of feel like doing this actually. So the R could be the G. So let's just do this. So we see that similar. What I really want to do now is I want to show you how to animate this pattern. How do we do that? So the way that we do that is instead of drawing all of the vertices all at once, what if I store them all into an array and then create the shape one at a time? So there's a variety of ways I could do this. What I'm actually going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an array list and call with a p vector. A p vector is a kind of object that stores an x, y, z. And I'm going to say vectors equals a new array list, p vector. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now make beta a global variable. And instead of while beta is less than pi, I'm just going to let me take all this out. I mean, I'm going to need this stuff. I'm going to move, actually, what would make more sense is what I want to do, let me take out the while. I want to put all the drawing stuff separate. So the drawing stuff is going to happen down here, and it's still going to involve a loop. So I want to say every vector inside of vectors set a vertex at v.x, v.y, v.z. So this is now just saying, hey, draw all the vectors as a shape. So now what my job becomes is adding these points one at a time. So every time through draw, beta goes up by a little bit. And what I do is I say vectors, and I think it's add in Java, an array list, add new p vector at that x, y, z. So I got rid of my loop, and I'm just calculating one x, y, z every frame and adding it. And what this should do is if I run this, I should see it drawing that path. Whoa! This is pretty cool. Now, so I forgot, one thing is I lost the color. So I could do something where I calculate, make an object for a vertex that has the color and the x, y, z. So there's probably a lot of ways I could think about organizing this. Right now, I think what I might just do is set the stroke here. And one thing I could do is, this is redundant, but so this is very inefficient, but I can ask for the oh, I could just say, I could ask for the magnitude, for example, of the vector. That's its length. And I could say something like, I could say stroke 255, magnitude 255. So the length of the vector, right, how far it is from the center, has something to do with its color. So you can see now, once again, I've kind of got that coloring back in. Oh, this is so lovely. Well, this actually worked out quite well. So I think I'm going to stop here and quit while I'm ahead, so to speak. There's probably a lot of things you could think about doing. You could look at Ruby's code, which I think will have more examples. Can you create any of these other patterns? Can you think of other ways of rendering them? Could you make some nice GIF animations? So if you make something, share it. There's 3 ways you can share. Well, there's a link to the source code for this challenge in the description. There's a README there, so you can add a link to that README. You can tweet me at Schiffman, or just use hashtag why not, YKNOT. Hashtag why not, and I on Twitter, I'm at Schiffman, and I'd love to see all the different beautiful knots you make. And at some point, I will look into remaking this in p5.js. Okay, thanks for watching this coding challenge. Have a good day. Okay, that was shockingly, and I didn't even use the whiteboard. I think I have time for the custom shapes. I totally have time for the custom shapes. We're going to do the custom shapes. I mean, I know I should read random numbers, but I totally have time for the custom shapes. Quick. Quick, everybody. Let's do the loadModel one, because that basically had what I wanted. And I totally do not have time for this, but I'm going to try. Kittens, I need the kittens, I need the kittens. The kittens must come with me everywhere. Custom shapes. And okay. Okay. Great. So here we are. This drives me crazy for no good reason. And let's minimize this. Let me find. I will not forget about donating to Project Awesome. I think I'm going to just do that from when I log out of this view of the computer and log back into the other one. And I will tweet. And I'm just looking at this. Okay. All right. And which version of the P5 library is this? Hold on, I just have to check something. Oh, no. So we might run into a, all right, we're going to give this a try. All right, everybody. Works on both versions. Okay, thank you. Thank you for testing that for me. All right. I'm going to try to hurry this up here. This is going to make me so happy if I get this kind of done. All right. Okay, I've got another WebGL in P5 video for you. And in this one, instead of drawing, I erased everything on the whiteboard. That's fine, I don't need to go over there in my list. Instead of drawing a primitive shape like a cube, a sphere, a torus, a cone, etc., I am going to make my own shape with begin shape and end shape. So let's look at how that works. So this has a box with a kitten as the texture. When I'm done, I want to see just a custom shape also with the kitten as a texture. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay, so let's take out the box. Let's take out the texture just for now, and let's say normal material. Hopefully this is going to work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say begin shape and end shape. And I have another video tutorial just about how begin shape, end shape, and vertex works, and you can go refer to that one. Once you're into the 3D world, there's a lot of possibilities. We could tile with triangle strips and do all sorts of different things, but I'm going to just make a single shape that has vertices and is basically like a quad. I'm going to make a quad. So I'm going to say vertex, just to start, 0, 0, vertex 100, 0, vertex 100, 100, vertex 0, 100. And I think an important thing that I need to have here is close. So what am I doing? I have 0, 0, 100, 0, 100, 100, 0, 100. So this is my path, and all of a sudden now the close parameter in end shape makes the last vertex connect to the first vertex. Okay, so let's see. This is the equivalent of doing plane, right? This is like doing plane, but I'm doing it with begin shape and end shape. All right, I don't see anything. Let's try fill. There we go. All right, so normal material didn't work, but that's fine. Fill works. Can I get ambient material to work? No. Oh, p5. So I'm going to have to investigate those bugs. So those seem like they might be bugs right now. I'll have to investigate those and come back to this video or write something in the description. But I really wanted to show you something about texturing. And first of all, let me just put fill back. The thing that I want to show you here that's important is once I have these custom vertices, I can start to really do weird things. Like, for example, what if this last vertex over here was a little bit more to the right? I now have this kind of quad that's not a standard square. And also, maybe I want it to sort of center itself. So right now I could say just really quickly, I could redo all these vertices, but I'm just going to translate by -50, 0. And so now I kind of have this quad moving around its center a bit more. So let me put this back. And we can see this is just like plane. -50, I'm sorry, -50, -50 it should be. Okay, so now this is just like plane. I have lighting in here already. So that's why the ambient materials should have shown up, because I have lighting already. Okay. So time out for a second. Alka asks, why does it seem like everything in p5 WebGL is broken? So first of all, everything in p5 WebGL has pretty much been broken always. P5 WebGL is a totally new piece of p5. Totally new. It's been around for a year or so, but it's been worked on, completely redone over the summer. So I think it hasn't gotten a lot of use, which is one of the reasons why I'm making these videos, is to find a lot of these bugs. So hopefully, and things just maybe haven't been implemented yet. All right. Don't get distracted by the chat. I can't not be distracted by the chat. All right. All right. So now what I want to do is texture this geometry. So what's interesting about this is, let's just say I add right now texture. Oops. I'm going to take texture kitten instead of fill. Interesting. So I don't see it. Why? Now something's happening, but I don't see the kitten. Why not? So this is what's really interesting about working with textures and custom shapes. A vertex is defined by its x, y point, or really in this case, x, y, z. That's what this is. This is really 0, 0, 0, 100, 0, 0, right? I just sort of ignoring the z, but I probably should put that in there. If I want to take image data, like a JPEG or a PNG or whatever, and basically place that image data inside of that polygon, the thing that I'm defining, I need to say, hey, 0, 0 goes with what pixel? This pixel. 100, 0 goes with what pixel? This pixel. Now this would be kind of like a literal mapping of saying like this image gets mapped exactly onto it. But what you're going to see about this is you can start to do a lot of different things. I will also refer you to a video about a flag simulation that I also have that does the same exact thing but with a more complex geometry. So for the vertex function, instead of just x, y, z, I can also have u, v. The u and v coordinates are the pixel mappings on the image. And I believe in P5 by default, these are normalized. So there are different ways this can be done, but what I mean by normalized is this is actually 0, 0, this is 1, 0, this is 1, 1, and this is 0, 1, even if this is a 640 by 480 image. So basically, so let's look at how that works. I'm going to come back over here. Oops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to let that sound effect finish. I'm going to come back over here, and let's start adding those UV coordinates in. So I think this should be, so let me add the 0 in, because I have a feeling it's probably not going to figure it out properly without the 0. So I'm going to now say this is 0, 0. This is 1, 0. This is 1, 1 UV, and this is 0, 1. So let's try that. There we go. There's the cat. Yay! On our custom shape. Now, it's so dark. Let's just pump up the ambient light here. All right, so I just wanted to add more ambient light so we could see it. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. This mapping, you now have a lot of creative possibilities. Like, for example, what if I just took out this point, right? What if I made this a triangle and kind of moved this point to 50, 50? So let's try that. So this vertex is actually going to be 50, 50, and we should see, look, and you can see how it's sort of trying to figure out as best as it can how to kind of squish the kitten. And probably in this case, just this rotation stuff is more trouble than it's worth. You can see this is what it's done, how it's decided to try to smush the kitten into that geometry. And this, of course, could move. Like I could say mouse X, mouse Y, which is going to produce a really weird result. But you can see this is me kind of like stretching. So you could imagine you could have an algorithm that's changing the geometry. I could have many, many more points. There's so many possibilities here. Another thing that I'd love to show, that I think is worth showing, is what if I reverse? So take a look at this kitten. See that kitten? It's looking that direction. What if I flip the pixels and say this pixel should go with 1, 0, and this should go with 0, 0. This should go with 0, 1, and this should go with 1, 1. Now the kitten's looking the other direction. What if I didn't flip the bottom? No kittens will be harmed during this. Like, now something weird, crazy happened because the top was flipped and I had to like twist it to get the bottom. So, and these can be variables, right? These could be variables that are changing and oscillating. I could, if I go all the way back, whoops. Let me get our kitten back there. I could do something like, I actually only want to see the top half of the kitten. So the Y are both 0.5. Now that's the top half stretched into this shape. So there's I'm really just scratching the surface here, but as you start to make your own shapes, you can texture them and assign different pixels of different images and different parts of an image to different vertices of that sounds of that shape. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. Hold on, my cap went running. There's still, again, as of the time of this recording, there seem to be some bugs with how custom shapes work in P5 WebGL. Hopefully any of you watching might decide to file a bug or look into fixing a bug in a friendly and supportive way. And hopefully, and please tag me at Schiffman on GitHub if you post an issue related to this video. Or of course, you can also ask at forum.processing.org in the p5.js category if you have kind of questions about how this stuff works. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing your custom geometry with textures in p5.js. All right, everybody. All right, I'm looking at the chat. Okay, oh boy. All right, hopefully that was helpful. So, what do we have left? A few random numbers, a few questions. Quad and triangle strips. Let's see here. Let's find the, so someone named coding train random numbers no, shoot. Oh yeah. I think this is the channel.
By the way, this is a momentous occasion. I'm deciding right now that
this is a totally different YouTube channel, which I feel totally happy for it to exist. Wait a sec here. Let's make sure this is legit here. Okay, that's fine. That's actually mine. So, so that's very nice of you, Coding Train Random Numbers, to include a link of, but you should just be clear, I think, because, whoops. Anyway, that's the Patreon for the official Coding Train channel, but that's a small detail here. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, that's the last one. So this is where I last left off. Oh, this was me yesterday.
32,000.
With my net neutrality protest. But hold on. But did this really end the introduction?
The first two paragraphs of the introduction.
Oh, I only read the first two paragraphs of the introduction?
Early in the course of research at the RAND Corp. In 1948, 1955.
Oh, whoops. No, don't watch that. Oh, wait, hold on.
Published in 1955. So I assume it's referring to the years between. When it says the past 7 years were produced to meet those requirements, the numbers have been used extensively by research workers at RAND and by many others in the solution of a wide range of problems during the past 7 years.
Okay, so I don't know. Should I read the introduction or not? Random numbers, audio book. Do the introduction now. Just get to the random numbers. Decide later. All right, here we go. We've got another straw poll for everybody here. The question is, should I be just reading the random numbers? You should play the video of you playing the video of you playing the video. Should I just go for the random numbers? Because I got it, there's a lot of random numbers for me to get through. Or is that just, am I missing something? I should really make sure I read all the introduction, which by the way has a lot of numbers in it also, before I get to the random numbers. This is how I'm going to decide everything in my entire life from now on. I'm just going to walk around tweeting out straw polls. Bad audio. Oh, the audio's bad. Is it just the music or something? Hold on. One thing is that I have done something to my setup here to be more sophisticated, which is that I can actually monitor the audio. Hello. So it sounds okay. Sounds okay to me. So interestingly enough, if that second time I played the music just now still had an audio glitch, the glitch is happening somewhere else. Because in my monitor it sounds fine. All right. Still, okay. So I'm done with the soundboard. You could probably like unplug, plug it back in, change the wires. I'm just not going to worry about that. All right. Let's view the results. Just get to the random number. Oh, this is very close. Come on, folks. I can't decide. How is it that there's like 400 people watching, but only 26 people actually voted? I think there's only like 30 people really paying attention. Yeah, the streaming cable. Could be, oh, you know what it is? No, because I'm listening to the monitor. So weird. Oh, okay, I have to go. I have 1 minute. Everybody wants me just to read the random numbers. Let's do some more net neutrality protesting. Every time I'm just going to read one line from the random numbers book. $37,542, 4,805, 64,894, 74,296, 24,805, 24,037, 20,636, 10,402, 822. Wow, that's like a low random number. 91,665. All right, thank you and good night, everybody. This has been the Coding Train. I will be back next Thursday for a day of coding challenges with a fundraiser for the Processing Foundation. And I will also hopefully be back on Monday with a live stream from the ITP show showing you a lot of the students' great work over the course of the semester. All right. So I'm going to go. So I'm looking, I'm seeing that someone wants me to talk about frustum culling, and I've seen that message in the chat a zillion times. Purple X, what was it that you wanted me to respond to? I'll try to answer just 1 or 2 questions in the next 1 or 2 minutes. Oh yeah, I should make the custom shapes 3D, like a pyramid or something. That would make more sense. Too late. Purple X, you should make a game and let everyone play it. That would be a wonderful thing to try to do sometime. Yeah, so I have meetings and things and other things for the rest of the day. We're getting set up here for the ITP Winter Show. If you're in the New York City area, come by and say hello. And hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. I have so many videos now to release. So, okay. So I'm going to go. So thank you, everybody. I can't play like a goodbye song or anything. I don't know, do something nice for somebody in the world this weekend. Give somebody a hug, go outside, make sure you get some exercise, some physical activity in whatever way that works for you. And I will see everybody. Stay warm if you're in New York City. It's very cold. And I'll see you all on Monday, hopefully. Thanks, everybody. I don't know what time it's going to be, but my guess would be the earliest would be 2 p.m. and the latest would be 4 p.m. I'm going to start, and that's Eastern time. I'm going to start somewhere in there, and I'll try to tweet out a time. Follow me on Twitter, @Schiffman. Okay. I will sing for you. Frustum culling tutorials in OpenGL or WebGL. Please, 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 please. This is me doing a dramatic singing of the comments I'm getting. Okay, goodbye. Yep, the elbow's doing pretty well. This is my range of motion. Can you tell which one was broken? Now you can probably tell which one was broken. But I'm still stretching, still working on it. All right, bye. Bye, everybody. Yeah, I know I'm late. Okay.